And we didn't see Aaron out there. Did he do anything after he left, or was he DNP today?
Well, he came down to practice. He didn't participate in practice, but he was out there and relaying the calls to Jordan. Just getting that practice of just saying the play calls.
Will he play on Sunday?
Yeah, he'll play.
How does Aaron Jones make it through the weekend, and do you give him any chance of playing on Sunday?
Yeah, he'll be questionable. He will, as well as Alan Lazard and Rashawn Gary are all going to be questionable, and we'll just kind of see how they responded to practice today and see where they're at on Sunday.
With Rashawn, is that about finding something that he can wear to protect that's not too restrictive, or is that strictly just a physical, how the elbow's feeling?
I think it's all of that. It encompasses just his ability to protect it and just the function of it.
And Matt, so now you're a couple weeks into doing this with Aaron. How do you feel about your process, and how have you tweaked it to maximize his getting ready without being able to do it physically?
Well, it's just making sure that the communication's on point in terms of making sure he's comfortable with everything we put in the plan and how we're going to attack LA's defense.
But there's no real limitations for you. I mean, you were willing to call the double handoff option play. Like, you don't feel like you have to hold back at all because of him not getting enough work physically in practice?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, we feel comfortable with what we have in the game plan. Certainly if we didn't, we would have taken it out. And, we were hoping that he would be able to get some reps in on today, but it just wasn't the case. And, we just want to make sure that he's at his best possible self for Sunday in terms of just, how he's feeling.
As a find the silver lining guy, is this just fantastic for Jordan?
Yeah. If there is definitely a plus, it is for Jordan's benefit in terms of him getting the reps and going out there and making sure that he gets a little bit better each and every day.
Matt, is Aaron experimenting with different shoes or any kind of protection for that foot? Has that been going on this week or for the last few weeks?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot you can do for it. It's definitely one of those, just managing the pain and how you deal with that. So I'm sure that they're looking at everything they can do to help make him more comfortable.
I know you obviously miss Robert Tonyan for his production of the passing game, but when Elton was out earlier this season, he obviously was pretty important as a blocker. How much do you miss him as a blocker a week like this, and what kind of things can you do to still help Yash on the left side?
Yeah, I think that Bobby, his game has really come a long way from when we first got here in every facet, as a receiver, as a blocker, both in the run and the pass game. And so anytime you lose a guy of that caliber, it definitely hurts your offense, your football team. Just the energy and how dialed in he is on a daily basis is something that's hard to replace. But I think the guys have done a nice job in his absence of trying to pick up those pieces as best we can. And I think, just looking at protection versus the Rams, it's not quite as simple in terms of protecting your edges because you have a couple guys inside that cause a lot of problems. So it's a great challenge for everybody. We're going to need everybody's best. Everybody's going to have to be on top of all the little details because they do such a great job of presenting multiple looks, that can stress your protections in different ways. So it really is about the collective.
With any of those injured guys, how much does the bye week coming up, does that factor in at all any of those decisions? Or if a guy is clear to play, he plays, and is it as simple as that?
Yeah, I would say if a guy's cleared to play, we'll let him go. But, you're also mindful of what you have in front of you. And certainly we never want to put somebody in a position that could, subject them to greater risk where they could be out for a longer period of time.
Hey, Matt, this is one of those, do you want me to give you the game plan, Jason, questions? But that's not how I mean it. What can you do to be better starting the games? You talked about it, and Aaron talked about it, but it's important. What, other than revealing the plays, what else could you? Does your process need to change? What do you need to do there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say our process necessarily needs to change. You know, certainly there's things that you always, as a coach, you want to take the onus of trying to do the best you can do to put your players in the best possible position. But then, you know, and some of that has been the case where you don't put them in the best spot. But also it's about all 11 that are out there executing at the highest level. And we understand that when you're playing, especially when you're playing against one of the premier teams in the league, that is especially important. I mean, this is going to be a great challenge for us in all three phases. So, but we need all 11 dialed in to whatever play that is called, offense, defense, special teams, and making sure everybody's doing their job. The one thing that I think that we cannot do is go out there with the mindset, oh, I got to make a play, because then people start doing stuff that might be out of character. You just focus on doing your job to the best of your ability, and, you know, hopefully that'll be good enough.
Is any of it the thing we were talking about the other day where defenses have their MO, but then they change it to deal with Aaron? Is any of that part of the feeling out process? Or?
Yeah, I think from an offensive perspective, certainly there's some times where you're not quite sure exactly how, you know, a defense might attack you, and there is an adjustment that takes place. So hopefully we, you know, have predicted exactly how they're going to try to play us, but there's always adjustments that are going to take place, whether it's at the beginning of the game or in the middle of the game. You know, there's a lot of coaches on that team, especially, that I respect, that I've been around, that I've hold in high regard, that I know that are very intelligent people, and they understand how to adjust. And so, you know, you just got to be ready as well.
I don't know if you're at all superstitious or put any thought whatsoever into the opening coin toss, but you guys have somehow managed to lose 7 straight, which seems impossible, but it's happened. And Mason, I think, has been out there for every single one. First of all, are you aware of this streak, and have you given any thought to maybe sending someone else out there?
Yeah, we might have to do that. It seemed a little bit like that last year when Tim was going out there. We just haven't had great luck with that, and that's just the way it rolls. But no, I didn't realize it was 7 in a row, but it sure has felt like we were on the losing side of that in most of the games this year.
Like, can you practice that? Is there anything you can maybe?
I don't know. I'll let you talk to Mace. Maybe you guys can come up with something.
Let's go to Zoom, Sarah, go ahead.
Yep, we have 2. We'll do Max from DPA Germany.
Hey Coach, this is Max from German Media. Wanted to ask about the Canadian St. Brown. What is his job? What is your perspective this season? How happy are you with how he's doing his job? Yeah,
Max, I heard he answered one of your questions in German, so that's pretty cool. He's a hell of a lot smarter than I am, that's for sure. No, EQ's done a great job. He's owned his role, not only as a wide receiver, going out there, being physical, making some big plays. Obviously, last week he came up big for us, made a couple of explosive plays, but he's also done a great job on special teams, and that's just kind of, you know, we get a lot of value from that wide receiver room in terms of our special teams units, and he's done a heck of a job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And last one, Aaron Rodgers.
Coach, everyone knows you, Kyle, and Sean go way back. Kyle obviously coaches in the division with Sean and is coming off of a pretty good butt whooping. Did you pick Kyle's brain at all this week, or you talked to him?
No, you know, a lot of times I wouldn't say that we share a lot of info with teams that are, you know, in the NFC. So certainly it was definitely easier when you're in the AFC and you're talking to these guys. But there's not a lot of exchanges that are going on, I would say, definitely during the season when you're playing teams within your own conference.